welcome to the first Arable Scotland in person for a few years.
We're here today at Arable Scotland where visitors and exhibitors are talking about some of the key issues that are facing the industry at the moment.
Every section of the supply chain has an added cost at this moment in time, and costs need to be resolved across the supply chain to deal with that.
We'll be talking about markets, we'll be talking about net zero, carbon capture and biodiversity gains, and some of the challenges in being efficient and meeting those sustainability targets.
Some of the farmers and our members out there just don't know the reason why you should be doing a carbon audit. Don't know what carbon means, don't know what it means to the efficiency of their business. And the things that we're talking about today, just communicating that, communicating the benefits to the future of agriculture and the future of what we're doing with climate change and biodiversity in Scotland is going to be absolutely key to moving forward with it.
There's an enthusiasm for the farmers who were involved in it to take forward the biodiversity and the carbon sequestration or the carbon capture.
Food production has got to be the core of farming land, but I'm wanting to be able to farm land and see an increase in the biodiversity.
You know, as farmers, we're probably the biggest gamblers on earth. You know, you're 12 months ahead. Who's bought their fertiliser? You know, most people have. Who's sold their grain? You'd be mad if you didn't, you know, but we're going down the way now. So risk reward, I think the carbon seems fairly stable compared to the volatility of where we're at with nitrogen versus carbon.
It's an important event because it's the only arable event in Scotland. It gives them a focus to come to, brings us all together.
Global demand is tight, the EU is pretty tight in terms of their supply as well, with a different in trade dynamics going forward from the war between Russia and Ukraine. We are seeing EU origins, pretty strong demand, so where the EU is going to source from as well is something to think about.
There's a commodity super cycle going on, and it's not just grain that's going up, everything else. So in a way it's a good sign because it's telling you that the world's short of a lot of really important things, and as farmers we're lucky that we can produce one of those, which is food and other grain.
There's a lot of things going out of control in the world. What can you control yourself, and just concentrate on that? And that just works its way through, whether it's agronomy, working harder on that, finding out new techniques, looking at the trials today.
The trial we've got is comparing a spring cropping system versus a winter cropping system where the soil's covered all year round. I was particularly talking to a group of farmers that are over visiting various places around Scotland but are also visiting here.
There's a huge number of exhibitors and innovations for visitors to see today.
It's nice to see everybody from the trade. We're here today to promote a number of different aspects related to our portfolio. One of them is a fungicide that controls septoria in wheats, and we also have a couple of oilseed rape varieties.
We're really hoping to be able to demonstrate just the wide variety of services that Hutchinson's can provide to our customer base, be that from the TerraMap soil scanning service that we provide or the healthy soils side where we're also trying to encourage more use of cover crops.
King's Crops is part of it, is a division of Frontier Agricultural, and we specialise on non-combinable seeds such as game cover, green manure crops, forage and cover crops. What we're here to achieve today is just to get the message across on how to improve your soil and overall biodiversity on farm.
We'll wrap up for today.
It's difficult to be a farmer at the minute, I think. I've had that discussion with a few of them today, and I think it's providing that support for farmers again, and I think we're uniquely placed within SAC and actually within the agriculture team to actually help provide that support. And I mean, we do advocate, we are supporting the farmers on the transitional pathway to net zero, and I think that is very much needed now more than ever.
In terms of agronomic collaboration, just go and engage. You know, my final message to anybody is just engage with it. You might actually learn something. And if you go to it and you spend 2 hours at a meeting and you come away with one thing, that's 2 hours well spent in your day.
There's so many things going on in the world, you just can't do much about them, but on your own farm, you know, there's a lot you can do.
Thank you very much for watching, and do look further at some of the information that's online to support the Arable Scotland programme.